Hi, my name is Medina from Arise Humanity, and I have a absolute powerhouse interview with Therese Cameron, who is a major whistleblower in Australia for the pharmaceutical medical industry. And I can't play a lot of the interview here on YouTube for obvious reasons. So I'm going to show you an excerpt, but I'd love you to go to my Rumble channel and watch the whole interview there. This is information that is really important to share. She has been probably one of the most highly censored people in Australia with her information. She's extremely knowledgeable in a whole range of areas, and she's also very spiritually connected too. So this is information that needs to go out, including the announcement that she won a major court case recently. It's a major win for Australia and humanity, and it was not shown anywhere, nowhere on mainstream media. Nobody took up this information. And so the information she is sharing, some of it, you will never have heard about, and this information needs to be heard. So please watch the whole interview on my Rumble channel. Also, if you could share this interview on my Rumble channel, that would be amazing as well, because Therese has done so much groundwork, and she is a major person in terms of what is being exposed here in Australia with her knowledge and background in the area, particularly in diabetes, but also she is aware of other areas that I can't mention here on YouTube. So please watch it and share it. And I hope that we can honor the incredible work that she has been doing in Australia by giving her this attention. Thank you so much for listening and watching. And I really appreciate your being part of my channel. Thank you so much. Bye. Today, I have a powerhouse interview with someone who has been incredible in the movement of exposing truth and corruption in Australia. And I have watched this lady's work from many years ago, and we've been friends, I'm happy to say, for quite a while now. And and Therese has done an incredible job. She's been indefatigable in her quest to reveal truth, to make people accountable in Australia. And she's a major whistleblower in Australia and has probably been one of the most censored people as well. So this is a really important interview today, and I love people to really listen and share this as well, because I really think it's important to honor the role that Therese has played for Australia in this whole movement of the liberation of humanity. So huge welcome to you, Therese. I know how committed and passionate you are. You are always on the goal of exposing the corruption. And please tell us a little bit about your history and what makes it so special for you to be doing this, because you have the background. So tell us about yourself, Therese.
So the background, yes, I joined nursing quite some time ago, 40 years ago at least, and I've had a very interesting career. I ended up going to the UK for 2 years. I ended up in Geneva, which in hindsight, I believe is sort of training for what was to come in the future. So I understood Geneva and how it works. I was there for 6 months. So I was working in Geneva, or just outside. And then I came back, worked for the pharmaceutical industry for a couple of, about 4 or 5 years, and then back into nursing again at the coalface. I then went into diabetes, and that's my absolute passion. I'm very passionate about diabetes. And I was almost 2 decades as a clinical nurse consultant in diabetes at one of Sydney's major hospitals, very, very large hospital, and also at another really big hospital in their diabetes clinic at sort of relief work. So so I've done that, and then then I moved into a number of other sort of jobs, including with the vaccines. This is pre-COVID, educating GPs with vaccines, making sure they had all the right education, all the fact sheets, and then went off to one of our health funds that I worked for them for a little while, and then back into the pharmaceutical industry on a subcontract basis. So yeah.
You're very highly qualified in the area in which you work, and you've had very much experience in the pharmaceutical arena, in the medical industry, and you've been able to see firsthand what's been going on. And aligned with that, you're very connected to the divine. You're a spiritual warrior. You have a strong spirituality that guides you, which is really, really important. And you've been able to sort of, in a sense, infiltrate, is that the right word, the whole area, and see what's been going on there. And you know, so you have a very unique perspective, I think, on the whole bigger picture.
Yes, I'm probably
oh yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm probably one of the few whistleblowers in Australia that has the background that I've got, and I'm just so censored. Like, yeah. So one interview that I did, like even I couldn't find it, and that was on something called TNT Radio. Another time I did an interview with somebody who's well known, and his entire YouTube channel got taken down. So I've been very, very censored. So yeah, that won't happen today, because we've got different changes and different things happening, and there's a lot. We've progressed a lot in the last 4 or 5 years.
Definitely, I think so too. And I also have a Rumble channel too. So make sure you go to my Rumble channel if anything happens to my YouTube channel, which it will. Yeah. So cool. we did a lot of wonderful prayers and protection before we did this interview too, and that always helps. So but I think we are very heavily protected as well. And as you say, there is more light now on the planet than ever before, and a lot of the dark is being taken out as we speak, and has been so much for the last few years. So I totally agree there.
We know with any chronic condition that usually it's the people who are sick who are affected worst. That was why they rolled out the vaccine to people with chronic conditions first, but in fact it doesn't appear to have had the effect that they thought it would have. It appears to possibly put them in a worse position, but the statistics is what will show what's happening. I believe there's very good statistics out of New Zealand, and I'd love to be in more contact with them. And we've also got somebody here in Australia who's doing some really good statistics on what's actually happening.
And also Dr. Brian Ardis, he talks about the fact that in America, the diabetic population has been hardest hit with after this, and they've had the highest levels of side effects and also deaths as well. So he does amazing work. You have, as you said, been highly, highly censored. In fact, even just last night, you were on a call with Liz Gunn. People will be very familiar with the amazing work Liz Gunn has been doing as a whistleblower to do with Parliament in New Zealand as well. And she was on a call with you last night, and your internet cut out.
I can tell you what happened. I've been attending a particular Zoom for about 2 years. I had no idea Liz Gunn was going to be on it. And sometimes I just lose focus and go do something else. But this night I thought, oh no, I'll go online. And suddenly I couldn't get on via phone or via the internet. That's the first time that's happened. And when my daughter rang the internet company, they said there was no other outages, but ours was completely out and they could not do anything. It was going to have to be somebody coming to our home. In the meantime, I'm sitting on the phone trying to wait to get in and sending sort of messages to friends going, what's happening? And they said it should just go straight in like normal, but it wouldn't. I could not get on either via my phone or via the computer. It was both taken down right before the meeting. I had no idea Liz was there. Fortunately, I did get on, and it was amazing to see her and tell her about my human rights win, because that's the main thing I think that I'd like to talk about today.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, is that win, and then the attacks on me, like with the recent attack with not the HCCC, but something very, very similar, same level.
Well, so it's interesting that you know, we do get information from some people saying the White Hats of the Alliance are very much in charge. However, you know, when these things happen, you wonder how much that they're actually in charge right now, when you're not able to connect with people that are influencers like yourself that can make a big difference once you connect. So please tell us about your really, really big news about the win that you've just had, which again, this has also been very much silenced on social media too, hasn't it?
Yes, so the win was actually the 30th of May, the week of the win in the Human Rights Tribunal for breach of my medical and religious human rights over the COVID mandates. I had about 8 journalists look at my LinkedIn page, but not one of them rang me. So it's very, very censored. So basically, I am the only person in Australia to win breach of medical and religious human rights over the COVID vaccine. And, you know, that's a huge thing, as we know. And I do need to give thanks to Rosie Cornell over in West Australia for helping me with the initial submission. And then on the final day, Tony Nikolic was amazing. So he came in like a horse in shiny armour. There's no way I would have been able to speak at the tribunal. I had everything else down pat. I can do the other things, but not what he did.
And he's been doing a lot of good work, hasn't he, with a lot of cases?
Yeah. We were sitting there with the cross in the background, and Mary and I had that candle going and everything, and he had something similar. Well, they just put us on blank. No way. No way was this religious order and these people going to be able to see that we actually had the paraphernalia behind us. And we've been praying. And I had about 5 or 6 people, amazing people, who were online with me, including the past head of the Professional Nurses Association, Margaret Gilbert, and a number of other, notable people there on the day at the tribunal to witness what was happening. And it's a big win. At the moment, there's a level of suppression, but I think in the long term, things will come out more and more. So definitely why I got the religious aspect is twofold. And this is important to understand. We were able to show, or we all know, that it didn't go through God's natural law of proper research. That did not happen. I don't know how many animals they used in research. Was very, very low. It was a bit shocking. And even with the human research, there was a lot of anomalies with the research. There was a lot of issues with one particular site, and somewhere in South America, I believe, where the statistics did not add up to the amount of days. They couldn't possibly have seen that number of people. So there was a lot of issues with the actual research itself. But also, my big thing is with the